Black Panther is black. Jamie Lee Curtis won an Oscar. Adam Sandler was snubbed for Uncut Gems. Highway Robbery, Arthur Morgenstein.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Margaret Qualley didn't get nominated this year? What the hell? Nobody's arguing that. Nobody's arguing these facts. Every year, you know, you see it. You see people complain, someone got snubbed from the Oscars. Oh, freaking Madam Web didn't get nominated. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Why does the Academy hate horror movies so much? It led me to the realization that I just think a lot of people don't understand how the Academy Awards work. It's not just one guy named Oscar, you know, being like, that's the winner right there. I choose you. Let's go with the whale. This here, I like the whale. I like whales. Let's go with the whale. Before we get into this though, I'm gonna reveal some truths about some opinions and some hot takes that I don't want to hear you complaining about. I don't want to hear you crying when I say that freaking so-and-so, your favorite person, didn't deserve their nomination. Don't get your feelings hurt. That's all I'm saying. Just keep that in mind. Click off. First, let's talk about how the Academy actually works.
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
The Academy is made up of 10,500 members across 18 branches. Acting, directing, cinematography, editing, and sound design. Pretty much every branch of the filmmaking process. Actors nominate actors, directors on directors, so on and so on. Once the nominees are selected, it's a free-for-all. Everyone votes. The only one that's different is Best Picture, where each member ranks the movies 1 through 10. Whatever film gets 50% or more is the winner. And if no movie gets 50% or more, they just eliminate a movie, they take it off the list, and they start over. Red alert, red alert. We ran into our first issue here. Did you spot it? Did you spot the issue here? Very good. Every member does not have to watch every movie. That is the first thing that is going to cause some problems. Let's get this out of the way. You know, not every movie that wins deserves it. And not every movie that gets nominated even deserves it. Let's talk about Black Panther. Let's talk about the Panther in the room. The black one, Black Panther. Black Panther, one of the most nominated comic book movies of all time, right? I'm talking more than The Dark Knight, more than Captain America 2, but it's also one of the only nominated comic book movies. So yeah.
Superheroes.
A lot of MCU fans get their panties in a bunch all the time though, because oh, Black Panther was nominated? What the heck? It's not even the best Marvel movie. What the heck? There's so many better MCU movies. Why did that one get nominated? No, why is that one? I'll tell you why. It's because Hollywood's woke. No, but kinda. Not really. Maybe. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Everyone's heard that opinion that comic book movies, they're not real cinema. Everyone says it, even outside of Scorsese, who's kind of like the poster boy child of this argument. You hear people say it all the time. No superhero movies. I'll do anything. I'll freaking be in a State Farm commercial with Patrick Mahomes, but no comic book movies. Ew, gross. Ugh. That sounds lame, dude. I'm not a sellout. I'm not gonna be in one of those stupid movies unless it's Batman. For some reason, Batman has this thing where it's like he's different. I don't know. Those movies are for little nerds and little kids and babies and people who just want to go and shove their mouths with popcorn the whole entire time. They don't want cinema, oh, cinematography, oh, they don't want to, oh, the mise en scène and stuff like that. They're not ready for that stuff.
Cinema is an event.
So even when Marvel, you know, makes a movie that is worthy of a Oscar, let's say like a Avengers Infinity War, the first one that pops into my head, a lot of people in the Academy, when it's time to pick the films that are going to be nominated, don't even watch it. They don't even consider it. At least I imagine so. I'm not in the Academy. Speaking my truth here. My thoughts, my hypotheses. Infinity War, I ain't watching that dumb movie. Do I look like a little baby? I look stupid? You mistaken me for a fool? So then why was Black Panther considered? Well, yes, I think part of it is the fact that it was a film focusing on a underrepresented group in film and in comic book movies in general, and in the Academy Awards. That's been a big issue with the Academy. But also when you have a really talented cast and a really good director, a director who has been putting out Oscar level films, Fruitvale Station, Creed, all of those films, I'm a little more inclined to watch your movie, my guy. I'm just saying, if I'm the Academy, right? I don't judge. I'll watch whatever movie. I watched The Mousetrap last year, so I'm better than you, Academy members. You didn't even watch that one for Oscar consideration. What the hell's up with that?
Excuse me?
You think this is a joke?
So when all these factors opened the door to them watching this film, they were like, yeah, that's a good movie because Black Panther is a good movie. Saying that Black Panther deserved its Oscar nominations does not contradict the statement that that it's not the best Marvel movie, that other Marvel movies didn't deserve to be nominated. Both can be true. So when you're raging that the Marvels wasn't nominated, not the most realistic example, when you're raging that Infinity War wasn't nominated, you know, I don't even think it got a fair chance. Even then, Robert Downey Jr., he should have been nominated for Avengers Endgame. He didn't even want that. He didn't even he was like, hey guys, don't vote for me. We're not pursuing this. So it makes sense why he wasn't nominated, because people were like, I don't want to vote for the guy. He doesn't even want to be considered for that. Want to hear a spicy theory of mine? We're moving on from Marvel. Want to hear a spicy, juicy theory of mine? Suicide Squad, the bad one, is an Oscar-winning movie. That's right. I don't think people watch the movie. I think people vote for movies without even seeing them. Here's my hypothesis. I think that there is a situation, a scenario, if you will, where people show up and they're like, you know, especially for like a costume design, just show me the pictures, dude. You know, that's what people, you know, I'm in the mind of like a bad Academy member. Just show me the pictures. That guy looks like an alligator, man. Sure, give him that. Give it to that guy. Because we established that not every movie has to be viewed by every member in the Academy. So the idea, the concept, the theory, the hypotheses of mine that people vote on movies without watching them, it happens. It has to have happened. The Oscars have been going on for way too long for it not to work that way. That's just like common sense, right? So if I were to sit you down right now, and there's a good chance you haven't seen every Oscar film nominated for Best Picture, right? If I sat you down and I was like, hey, you know, what do you want to win? You're going to pick the movie you've seen. You're going to pick Dune 2. Even if you haven't seen The Brutalist, you're like, come on, Dune 2. Come on, Dune 2. I'm rooting for Dune 2. Brutalist might be a way better film. You wouldn't know. You didn't see it, so you're going to root for what you saw because you really enjoyed Dune. So, of course, it's somewhat of this popularity contest also. It's like, you know, I'm not voting for them. They're a jerk. I'm going to vote for Timmy because he's a nice guy, because I like Timmy Tim. Yeah, I didn't see all these other movies, but I know him. I like him. He's a nice guy. That has to be the case. All theory, but you know, you can only prove so much with theory alone. I don't know why I said that. It's just a movie quote about theory that popped in my head. Not super relevant. People vote for their friends. They vote for people who they've worked with in the past. I'm sure that happens. It's why we see like hit piece articles come out about actors right around the nominations, because it's like, you know, PR teams, it's not freaking Will Ferrell's out here himself putting up signs, don't vote for Joe Pesci. Why are these actors competing with each other? Your guess is as good as mine. Don't vote for Joe Pesci because I want to win. It's the PR teams. It's all the butts of Hollywood who are being butts. That's show business, baby. Horror movies don't get nominated because they're too scary. I think that's pretty, you know, cut and dry. Horror is a genre that isn't for everyone, and that's all right. You shouldn't be judged, you know, stones thrown at you if you don't like horror. That's all right. But just know you're missing out on all the fun. I can't count the amount of times I'm watching freaking Will Ferrell, you know, Vanity Fair, he's playing with puppies, and he's like, heck no, I don't get jiggy. I'm not jiggy with horror movies. They're too scary. I'm a big crybaby. I'm a big scaredy cat. Or freaking, who's a random actor? Bryan Cranston's on wired autocomplete, but really not. Cut out all the real Google answers. And he's like, horror movies? No thank you. I'm Bryan Cranston. I'm too scared of horror movies. Again, Bryan, I know you're watching. You're just an example, buddy, all right? Don't take this personally. Granted, you also have Willem Dafoe whipping out Ani Baba like every 10 seconds, every second he can. Someone's like, hey, Willem Dafoe, what's it like being a dad? And he's like, have you seen Ani Baba? That movie slaps. That's a great movie. And it is a great movie. I watched it. It's a great movie. It's a great film. That guy's onto something. But in order for a movie to stand a real chance at getting nominated, it has to be accessible to everyone, and some people won't even watch horror movies because that's not the genre for them, because they're too scared and things like that. Sure, there are exceptions, of course, like Black Panther, things that will get people interested in a film. You're telling me the funny guy from Slap Ass, that guy created one of the most creative and nuanced films about race and tension and paranoia and horror? You're telling me this guy, the Slap Ass guy, he did this movie?
Okay, Slap Ass?
See, yes.
See.
I'm in. I'll check it out. Demi Moore, she's making a comeback? I'm in. I'll check it out. Let's talk about comebacks, because Hollywood is a place that loves a good story. They love a good happy ending. A Brendan Fraser, a Demi Moore, a Ke Huy Quan, all these people, you know, making these career comebacks. Definitely not shading any of these people, because they deserved their nominations. I think a lot of them deserve their wins too. Brendan Fraser was great. I don't care what people, oh, the whale won, he won. He's good. He's great in that film. Don't get it twisted, my guy. I'll say it though. Jamie Lee Curtis didn't deserve that Oscar. I think that even deep down, Jamie Lee Curtis would admit that, so I don't feel too scared to say it. Like, Jamie Lee's gonna be knocking on my door tonight. I heard what you were saying. Does Jamie Lee Curtis deserve an Oscar? Yes. Does she deserve this Oscar? No. I think there is this situation to where it's like, we don't know when she's going to retire. Jamie Lee Curtis is getting older. We don't know if she's going to get this chance again, so I'm a little more inclined to vote for her, because like I said, we don't know when we're going to get this chance to give this actress that has done so much for so many films this award that she deserves. You do rob the other actresses and actors in other situations of the award that I think they deserve for being better. Stephanie Hsu, the second real lead in that film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think she deserved the award more than Jamie Lee Curtis, but also she's a younger actor. She'll have plenty of opportunities to get nominated down the line, except maybe not. We do see these situations where people are nominated once and that's it, and they don't get that opportunity later. So I have covered that I think the winner is accurate about 65% of the time, but I also don't think there's a better way to do it. You can't put it in the fans' vote, that's for sure. Fans are dumb and they're gonna nominate something crazy. Like, I don't want to diss any movies. They're gonna nominate some insane movie that does not deserve to be nominated, but it's never going to be perfect. That's the case with anything where the winner is subjective. There's no objective, like, this is the best performance. Sure, sometimes there are years like a Rami Malek year, a Joaquin Phoenix year, to where it's like, okay, yeah, we all think that's the favorite. We all kind of agree. But even then, not everyone that saw both of those movies agree that those were the best performances of the year. So it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be people that get snubbed and different things like that. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, these awards, they don't really mean anything to us. It's really for the validation of the people there. And I think that that's more important, because they're the people voting. So it's like, if you want to cry about it, it's your peers that did it. Doesn't affect me at all. I can go and watch all these movies. If anything, I think the Oscars is still good. I think it is still valuable to consumers, to people who are just normal moviegoers, because it opens minds to these different qualities about, like, how was the editing in that film and how was the cinematography, things that people who might not be really into film don't always think about. And I think that's important. Also, it just opens up the door to see all of these other films that people might not check out. If you just go see the big films of the year, I'm talking the Marvel films and Dune and Fall Guy and things like that, the Inside Outs and Sonic 3, maybe you want to expand your horizons to check out some of these films that are held in such high regard by people in the industry. By, you know, check out a Sing Sing, check out a Brutalist. Emilia Perez, it's your life, buddy. You watch what you want. But I still think that's an important tool, and I think that that's the best way for consumers to view the Oscars. And if you're giving people Oscars for, like, legacy, give Samuel L. Jackson one, because he deserves it 100%. I think he does have one, like an honorary Oscar or something like that, but still, hit subscribe and check out this video on why horror movies aren't scary anymore.